Travel, going where you wanna go, learning things, meeting people along the way. You'll want to know.
This is USA Golf and Travel with Mark Stewart and Rebecca Blackwell.
This week we are in the birthplace of golf, single malt whiskey, and some of the most beautiful scenery that you've ever seen. Come along with us to this exciting journey to Scotland.
Welcome to USA Golf and Travel here in Scotland. I'm Rebecca Blackwell.
And I'm Mark Stewart, and we're at St. Andrews, hallowed ground for any golfer who loves this game.
And while we're here, we're going to take you on a tour of a brand new, beautiful, cutting-edge, luxury 5-star resort and golf. It's called St. Andrews Bay Golf Resort and Spa, and we'll be taking you there. It's our home base while we're here in St. Andrews.
And you talk about golf. They have two great courses there. One, a Sam Torrance links course that you're just going to love, and another Bruce Devlin course. And another interesting thing, Gene Sarazen, he was the one who had the plans for this course. So, boy, I'm excited. You're going to be excited when you see this show.
If you have a passion for the game of golf and a zest for life, and if you like the idea of a romance between time-honored traditions and cutting-edge technology, well, this show is for you.
Driving down the road, looking for adventure. All I got is all that I need.
Good morning.
You know, when you stay somewhere, it's nice to have a warm welcome, and it's nice to know you're in Scotland. Now, if first impressions are correct, we are in for a great time.
Welcome to St. Andrews Bay.
Thank you.
And that's from USA Golf and Travel, is that correct?
You got it.
Your luggage has been taken up to your room, and I'll just escort you to your room also.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
We have a welcome gift from Mr. Carter, General Manager, which includes a bottle of Merlot from our sister property, Chateau Alad. And our rooms have stunning views, as you may have noticed. You can look down onto the old town of St. Andrews, which is over 1,000 years old. We also have great views along the coastline, and also have our Torrance course, which is one of our two 18-hole courses. But don't hesitate to call down to reception if you do have any further questions or queries. And finally, I hope you enjoy your stay with us at St. Andrews Bay.
The golf course and the clubhouse, that's the first thing I see when I look out the window. And me being the kid that I am, that's where I go. You can almost envision the Roman sentries standing guard on these 450 million year old volcanic cliffs, overlooking the North Sea for the oncoming invaders. But little did they know that the invaders would come from behind to wage war, armed with clubs that they affectionately call warbirds, Big Berthas, and launchers. They wage war on the Scottish countryside, and still do to this day, hoping and praying only to make a par.
Now, John, I heard something very interesting and saw something very interesting in the hotel there. You had a statue of Gene Sarazen.
Sure.
And I heard he had something to do with the course.
Gene Sarazen did the original sketches.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah. He was a good friend of our owner and founder of the company, Dr. Don Panos.
Well, this must have been one of the last...
Pretty close, I think, yes. And then we had Sam Torrance took over the other one, and Bruce Devlin, this one.
You know, folks, you've seen Sam on our show before down in Morocco, and you know he's quite a character. He's just a fun guy to be around. But as far as this golf course goes, he got down to business, and he really built a heck of a course here. He really did.
Yeah.
Your view to the village of St. Andrews from the new St. Andrews Bay Golf Resort is perfection. Looking across the coastline, the Kingdom of Fife is blessed with the driest and sunniest weather in Scotland.
There's one other thing I wanted to talk to you about, John. You have carts here, and
Yep.
I know that isn't something that's done all throughout Scotland, but boy, we sure appreciate it.
Yeah.
We really do. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about
Well,
that.
what we have, you know, on the Torrens golf course, it's a purely walking golf course, where you can take a pull cart, or you can walk yourself carrying your own clubs, or you can take a caddy. And on the Devlin golf course, which you can walk also, it has a cart path around it, so we allow golf carts on it too. So you have that option. So you can play Torrens in the morning.
Yeah, and ride in the cart on the Devlin in the afternoon.
This is the beauty of Scotland. Bright yellow gorse and low stone walls amidst the rugged coastal landscape. It's unmistakable. And looking up to the St. Andrews Bay clubhouse, the golfers head back for refreshment and a tasty lunch with cliffside views to the North Sea and the Grampian Mountains.
The bartender pours some of Scotland's finest, and a toast is in order. And food, look at this. But the clubhouse isn't just for lunch. It's open for delectable fine dining too. So whether you're out here just having a great time on the golf course and want a bite to eat, or you want to come in for that something special, the clubhouse has it all. Golf and fine dining are just part of the story here. I gotta say, I've never really been a big spa guy, but after the spa here, I've got a new appreciation for it. This is much more than just a spa.
As you can see, the spa's pool is just a part of the rejuvenation for you. And couples can retreat together to share more holiday time together. What a soothing way to relax or revitalize with a full workout. The spa offers an extensive menu of treatments and programs and shopping. Golfers shut out all stress with a golfer's massage followed by a facial.
The golfer's massage is a very different massage. It concentrates on the top part of the muscle, and it's a lot deeper, and he's going to feel a new man afterwards, after the 45 minutes, ready to play golf again.
Today we're doing Japanese silk booster facial, and this is the mask that we're going to put on. Japanese silk made in Japan, and this is going to add oxygen to Caroline's skin. It's going to give her an oxygen boost, which will help to keep her skin looking young and radiant.
Mark and I have a big day ahead of us, so we stopped by the concierge to map out the best route to take. St. Andrews Bay is perfectly located as a starting point for many scenic drives through the green and yellow landscape of Scotland. Our first venture takes us to the fishing village of Crail, only a few minutes away, to watch the fishing boats return and pick the lobster and crab catch of the day.
So it's Graham Nesbitt, St Andrews Bay Executive Chef. We're about 10 minutes away from a hotel in the little village of Crail. We're down to get the freshest of lobsters as they're literally coming off the boat. It's going to be great.
Ah, the little village of Crail, perched on the North Sea, where its citizens have enjoyed the bounty of the ocean for hundreds of years. And today, they're going to share it with us.
Literally, the lobsters will be caught this morning, we'll head back and they'll be served at lunchtime. So it's fresh as fresh can be.
Ah, there they are, bringing their bounty of the sea back to the harbor.
Well, there it is, the boat is back and you can see the lobsters on the boat there. So we're
We're going to take our pick, huh?
Well, yeah. Fresh as fresh. Crail's been lobster fishing for hundreds of years. This is a 2-pound lobster, probably about 7-8 years old, and you can just tell a great lobster by it. So literally just came out of sea. It's still got a beautiful sheen on it. The eyes are fresh. It just looks a healthy fish. I mean, it looks healthy. It's still alive, obviously, which always counts, and it just looks fantastic. It's just glistening. It really is absolutely fresh out of the sea. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Right.
And it's bound for St. Andrews Bay.
It's going to St Andrews Bay right now, and we'll be cooking this up for lunch today. So you don't get fresher than that. There's no bands on these ones. I mean, again, you can just tell by looking at it. Obviously, apart from the fact that it's trying to bite my fingers off, but it's a good fresh crab there. I mean, it's just glistening. Straight out the boat, straight out the sea. This is our choice for this morning. These are the two we're going to take back and cook up at St Andrews Bay in the Squire restaurant.
Well, I've got to hand it to Graham and St Andrews Bay. I have never seen anyone go to the extent to make sure it's fresh.
Well, that was fun. But now we're on our way to the medieval town of St Andrews and the Old Course and the site of the upcoming 2005 British Open.
St Andrews isn't for just golf royalty. It's for real royalty. Prince William, he attends university there. You know, Rebecca, if you were to close your eyes and imagine a quaint little Scottish town, this would be it. St Andrews.
Mark, it's as if old Tom Moores, St Andrews legendary golfer, is still alive. The old Tom Moores shop, established in 1848, is still open and looking over the Old Course.
Well, this is where the game of golf all began, Rebecca. Mary, Queen of Scots, played here. King James played here. They have all played right here.
Mark, this is just so exciting to finally be here at the Old Course, looking down there at the 18th hole.
I mean, you really get a feeling here. You really do, Rebecca. Right in back of us, it's the Royal and Ancient, where the game of golf was started. The rules of golf are right there.
You know, my dream has been to walk across the bridge. I'd like to do an Arnie Palmer pose, but I'll settle for just walking across the bridge.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it right now. I've seen it so many times. Arnold Palmer, his farewell wave, Jack Nicklaus, right across the Swilcan Bridge.
I think that Scotland is a beautiful country, and I have really enjoyed coming into Scotland, and the quality and the service of our luxury stay here. Isn't it just beautiful?
The St Andrews Bay Golf Resort and Spa is just the best place we could ever stay here.
This is really a dream vacation, and I'm so glad we finally made it.
Well, you know, there's so much history here in St Andrews, golf and architectural history. I mean, but it's the blending of the old and the new that's really exciting for us. I mean, we are state of the art where we are.
Exactly, and I would want it that way.
You know, it was Tom Watson who said, "The most fun I've ever had playing golf has been in Scotland." Well, the short time that I've been here is a time that I'll never forget. Another thing I'm not going to forget about is lunch. I guess we've worked up an appetite.
Here we are back at St Andrews Bay Squire restaurant. Graham Nesbitt, executive chef. We just came back with the lobsters we caught this morning. There's a lobster we picked out just a couple of hours ago down at Crail Harbour. Still alive and kicking there. And there's the crabs that we picked out. We'll come back to those couple in a minute. But we've got some other locally sourced produce which we use at St Andrews Bay. We've got a whole sirloin of beef here. This is Aberdeen Angus, which is less than an hour away. It's the whole sirloin of beef. We've got some beautiful fish here. We've got some trout, which was actually caught by one of the chefs in the kitchen. He's a really keen fisherman. Again, just literally 10 minutes away in the River Tay. And we've got this gorgeous 9-pound salmon, which came in from the River Tay this morning. Again, just 10 minutes away there. We've got a beautiful fish. You got this, you can just tell it's so fresh by the watery eyes. The sheen on the skin, the colour, it just looks so healthy. That's a 9-pound fish, and we use this all the time on the menu. It's just such a lovely fish to use. We're going to prepare a lobster dish today. So here he is, still kicking. We're going to take this lobster, and you'll see as soon as we cook it, you'll see the shell will change colour. So we're just going to put this in the pot, and we're going to cook this one up there. That's your lobster, going to be 5 more minutes. If you'd like to take a seat in the restaurant, I'll get your lunch brought out to you. Here we are.
Ah, look at this.
And here we are with some wine from our sister property in Atlanta, Georgia, Chateau Elan, grown in our very own vineyards.
A wee bit of a stay. You're going to join us?
Absolutely. And as we say in Scotland, Slanjiva.
Slanjiva!
After lunch, we get the opportunity to speak with the general manager and the CEO. Let's listen.
My name is Stephen Carter, and I'm the general manager of St Andrews Bay Resort, here just on the outskirts of St Andrews in the Kingdom of Fife, Scotland. We try and take the theme of what we're trying to offer our guests in terms of experience right into the building itself. We find ourselves here on the resort being in open countryside with wonderful views and a very open and spacious feeling. Once you walk inside the resort, you find that that spacious feeling continues. We have large bedrooms with lots of space, large sitting rooms in our suites, and large open public areas, which you can enjoy, relax, and luxuriate in. Space is luxury, and that's a message that we really want to get across.
Well, my name is Henk Evers. I'm the President and CEO of Chateau Lawn Hotels and Resorts. We're a privately held company based in Atlanta, Georgia. Today, you're visiting our flagship in St. Andrews Bay, Scotland. Beautiful hotel. We started about the late 90s to develop this spectacular property, 2 golf courses and 208 bedrooms. It's top of the line, the newest 5-star hotel in St. Andrews, or for that matter, in Scotland. Let me tell you a little bit about our founders. Don and Nancy Pano, since 1969, have every day of their life had something under construction. If it was a pharmaceutical plant, to hotels, to racetracks. If you see at the other side of the world, our flagship property in Atlanta, Georgia, that was started in the late 1980s. Today it has grown over 3,300 acres, 700 associates, 63 holes of golf, and 380 bedrooms. 25,000 square footage meeting room space. Look at one of our newest additions to our portfolio is the Chateau Lawn Hotel Spa in Sebring, the oldest racetrack in the United States, where the 12 Hours of Sebring takes place in March every year. We focus really on one thing, and that's taking care of the customer. We're all about customer service, and I can guarantee you personally that we will exceed your expectations. But I hope that my people and our associates really set themselves apart with the level of service that you receive at any of our hotels in the world. Thank you very much for visiting us.
Well, though Mark and I are here experiencing a leisure golf getaway, we know that St. Andrews Bay Golf Resort has the largest conference facilities of any hotel in Scotland, complete with all the high-speed telecom, video conferencing, and a 106-seat auditorium, perfect for groups.
Well, here we are in the Robert Burns Ballroom. It's our largest ballroom within the conference centre, catering for up to 700 people. Hey Nikki, what do we have in here today?
Hi Tom, doesn't it look lovely? At the moment we're setting up a banquet for 500 for a high-profile American bank for a dinner tonight.
Looks stunning.
With the final touches being made for tonight's event, we take a sneak peek ourselves. Well, I'm joined right now by Watson Bell, who is the Director of Event Planning, and originally a New Yorker here with your wife.
Actually, originally from New York, and trained at the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park as a chef, but worked at Chateau Lawn for about 7 years in the capacity of an event manager, and then the last 2 years there as the director.
Tell us what some of the events you've done that you're excited about even to this day.
Well, we've really done quite a lot of fun things here. One of the events that stands out in my mind is we work with Yamaha, and Yamaha was bringing all their sales managers not only from the States but all over Europe and Japan, and we converted our atrium into the world of Yamaha. And to do that, we actually brought in about 4 tons worth of dirt and created a off-road driving area that we displayed some of their newest products on, which was great fun. And then for that same exact group, actually, at the conclusion of their event, for their final dinner, we brought in a falconry show and actually performed it within the atrium. And it just happened that the CEO's president was on that day, and we had the falcon, we put a small pouch around his neck, and it flew right to the CEO, delivering him his birthday present, which was pretty cool.
I have to say, it sounds like it would be a lot of fun to work with Watson and to set up our events over here and our incentive planning. And I imagine any Americans that are planning to come over, they know that they can do it with you, Watson. I think that's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Setting out again for more historical sightseeing, Mark and I pass through miles of Scottish green fields, alive with the new spring lambs. Nature comes alive in Scotland. And now we arrive in the city of Stirling, on our way to see Stirling Castle, which in ancient times was the heart of the kingdom.
Gary, how you doing?
Hi there, how are you?
Boy, we're glad to be here, and Gary, I have a question. What is so special about Stirling Castle?
Stirling Castle was the preferred residence of the Stuart kings and queens. It sits almost geographically in the centre of Scotland, a magnificent panorama of the entire area, and anybody in control of this site really controlled this area, and if you controlled this area it was said that you controlled Scotland. Famous battles have taken place near here: Battle of Stirling Bridge in 1297 with William Wallace, and the Battle of Bannockburn in 1314 with Robert the Bruce. Both very famous battles in history, and took place because the castle was here and because of the significance that this area had on Scotland itself.
Now, what are some of the things that we shouldn't miss when we're here?
The Great Hall is really the crown, or the jewel in the crown in terms of Stirling Castle. We've restored it back to the way it would have looked in 1503.
Well, we want to get in and take a look at that. Thank you, Gary.
You're very welcome. Enjoy your visit.
Mark and I wind our way up to the Great Hall, dating back to 1500 on the Castle Rock. This site was the center of the Royal Stuart Court. Maybe Mark Stuart has found his ancestral home.
Gary, my imagination is just running wild here, sitting in the very spot that the king would sit in. But when they have a royal banquet, I mean, how many people would be here?
Nowadays we can accommodate about 350 in here, but back then you would have had 400 or 500 people in this room. Try and imagine the noise of it and the smell of it. It would be dark, the place would be lit by a candle, chatting, the clinking of goblets, that kind of thing, the serving of the food would be brought in at the bottom of the hall, the smell of that food passing everybody, because the food would first of all come up to this table
Up
here.
to this table, right?
That's right,
here.
and it would be served there because the people here were the most important, so they would be at the top and they would get the first choice of the food. Once they had finished and were happy with what they had eaten, the food would then get passed down and would go down the hall, and the people who were sitting then closest here would get it, followed by them, and if you were at the back of the hall, then you got the pickings. So if bread was brought, for example, it would be brought to here, placed before the king. The king would take the top of it, that's the best of the bread is at the top, and then pass the bread down through, which is why you get the saying, people who were of the upper crust. It meant they got the choice of the upper crust, and then the bread moved down the hall from there.
Well, I've got to say, it's good to be the king. Thank you, Gary. The chapel was built for King James VI in 1594 and fully restored. The chapel is used this very day for people in love and people who love Scotland.
I've never seen such colorful scenery as I did in Scotland. A drive on the coastline of the Kingdom of Fife leads us to another fishing village, not far from St Andrews Bay Resort, Anstruther, home to the Scottish Fisheries Museum and Anstruther Fish and Chips. We're told it's the best fish and chips in Scotland, and Mark and I are going to find out.
The first thing you notice when you walk in, you're not going to eat alone. This place is packed. The accolades are on the wall, proving that this place is what it's billed to be, the best fish and chips in the UK.
How are you? I didn't see it. Now, how come you have the best fish and chips in the world?
Just consistency, what it is.
And then,
your drinks are inclusive unless it's...
Ah, here it is, Mark.
Oh, boy.
It wouldn't be complete here in Scotland without the fish and chips.
Thank you.
Now, being the connoisseur that I am, you notice that I used lots of malt vinegar here, and it's the best vinegar. I can hardly run, I'm so full. As we leave Anstruther with its panoramic views, we drive back to St Andrews Bay for another panoramic view, the Torrance course. And there's a crowd gathering at the clubhouse. Let's see what's going on.
a little piece of chicken for his trouble.
Isn't this great? This is great. I better not do a leap on my face.
Well, that's the noise a rabbit makes as it's dying. Not a good idea. Now for him, that's fairly easy, okay? Don't stick out your tongue. All right? Oh, yeah? Now you might think that's easy, but there is a more difficult one. Okay, turn around and face the bird.
I'm ready.
And look a little more like William Wallace in Braveheart. Put your hands on your
Okay.
hips, looking mean and aggressive, okay? Now don't blink because you'll miss it.
Okay.
Falsetto is achievable, believe me. Are we ready? Oh!
Looked like he almost missed you. This is a treat. This is a first, isn't it? This bird is the first born here.
Yeah, she was the first bald eagle from North America, but bred in Scotland.
There you go.
So the first American-Écossais relations in the avian world, I suppose. Yeah, she's a bald eagle. Her name is Syrup. Syrup is 5 years old now. She'll get a pure milk white head when she's sexually mature. Now for most bald eagles in the wild, that's 4 years old, but I'm afraid she's been a little bit juvenile for us, and she's been a little bit slow coming into maturity, so she'll mature when she's probably about 7 years old. And yes, Syrup is a falconry bird. She's a trained free-flying bird of prey. Though a bit bigger than your average bird, she has an 8-foot wingspan. She weighs around about 13 pounds. And although her preferred diet is that of a pescatorial nature, she does like fish. She will on occasions take interest in duck and even excel herself sometimes looking at larger creatures like hares. Now, we use her again for demonstration and educational purposes. She was completely hand-reared by me, so she thinks that I'm her daddy. So she's one of the few very large predatory birds that we have that is extremely friendly.
So now, when we're out and we're wandering around, we see a bald eagle. This is close up what
This
it's...
is as close as I think you're ever going to get to a bald eagle.
This is what it's going to look like.
In fact, have you ever had a bald eagle put her arm around you? No? There you go.
I love it. I'm in love. That's as close as it gets. We thank you, Adrian, for showing us the bald eagle. Is this marvelous?
You're very well.
Now, what trip to Scotland would be complete without a wee bit of the single malt? And here in Kiddick's Bar, we get that opportunity. And we get to learn an awful lot about it from Stephen Carter. Let's listen.
The bar, the centre of most social activity in any hotel. And in front of us are a small selection, a wee selection of Scotland's national drink. Whisky, Ushkabar, the water of life. And no journey to Scotland is complete without a wee sampling of a wee whisky in the bar. The best whiskies to drink are always the single malts. Single malt whiskies are made in batches, so therefore each batch is always slightly different. And the real Scotsman will have a real art in just selecting the right kind of barrels to blend to keep the constant flavour. But let's see how to drink the whisky. Let's take my favourite. I always enjoy this bit of the work. Just swish it round and breathe it in, Larry. Breathe it in deeply. Then we add a touch of water, and Larry will really sigh with contentment now. And swish it around again, Larry. And the water just opens up the flavourings in the whisky. No visit to St Andrews Bay is complete without a visit to Kiddick's Bar and a wee dram of traditional Scotch malt whisky shared amongst friends and drunk with a traditional Scottish toast. Slanjivar! Slanjivar!
It's been a great week. Great golf, great food.
Great spa. Great friends.
Here's to Scotland.
Here's to St Andrews Bay.
And here's to us.
And here's to you for watching USA Golf and Travel in Scotland.
I'm Mark Stewart.
And I'm Rebecca Blackwell.
And your next trip to Scotland, don't forget St Andrews Bay Golf Resort and Spa.